Hello traders, so welcome to the weekly live token setups volume 172. Iliya here, and as always I'm really grateful to have you on the Trading Fanatic channel. You know what we're gonna do in this video. We're gonna explore the market, see if it provided any opportunities this week. I bet it didn't. And of course, most importantly, we're gonna try to forecast what could happen in the upcoming week. So you saw me throw a little hint right there. This week was an absolute mess. Right, so there weren't any moves in the market this week, and it was just up, down, up, down, up, down, sideways. Right, no opportunities for me. I haven't taken any trades. My community took a couple of losses, so a lot of traders right now are on a losing streak. It's pretty much the market is not moving. Of course, there are opportunities every single day, but it depends on your strategy and depends on what you're trading. Personally, I'm always honest with you. Currently, my edge, it just doesn't provide, right? I've been looking for it. I've been looking for my setups. I've been looking for the structure, but it just doesn't provide, right? It just goes up, down, up, down, up, down on the 15-minute. And whenever it turns bullish, it goes bearish. And when it goes bearish, it turns bullish, right? So we actually had a joke. When EU breaks structure to the downside, you go long and it reverses. So that was what we had this week. So no trades for me, protecting my capital, which I'm really happy about. And yeah, we don't have much of November left, right? I think 1 or 2 weeks maximum. So let's see how we can finish, right? Next week could be the week that we actually move. We're going to explore the weekly time frame. You're going to see that we did not have much movements right now. And the majority of the pairs are at key zones, key levels. So of course, we can expect something to happen. And let's see, of course, what we can forecast. If you're new to this channel, it's all about trading. I share these weekly outlook and setups every Saturday, and once per week I share an educational piece of content or a trading setups breakdown video. I give my best to do so, but currently a bit busy, so make sure you're subscribed and turn on the notification bell in order not to miss the future updates that are coming. And if you already did that, well, let's head into the analysis. Alright, as always, we're gonna get started with a Dixie to build a picture of where could the dollar potentially go, which is gonna give us an amazing outlook regarding all the other currency pairs as well. Because yes, we mainly trade the USD pairs, right? We have JPYs, but we're gonna have a look at the USD JPY for that. Before we jump into it, I want to shout out my amazing broker, Forex.com. They're great. They have all the assets, all the currency pairs, all the stocks, all the cryptos as well with great spreads. They also have 2 types of accounts, but I suggest you open an eco account. You're going to pay a little bit of commission, but you're going to have great spread, and every single lot that you accumulate will go towards planting 10 trees. They've planted thousands of trees so far, so make sure to go on my description, check out their website, open an eco account, and let's help the first green broker out there. Right, so as I said, starting with a DXY, well, this week was absolutely quiet. You can see immediately from the weekly candle, we did not move as much, right? The past few weeks were very volatile, very huge moves, and especially like the last week, 500 pips. I mean, that's huge. And this week we just moved like, 1/5 of that. So in terms of next week, we don't have something very, very huge like an interest rate or CPI or something. We have interest rate for the NZD. We have some NZD, some Aussie news, some Euro news as well. The most important day is actually going to be Wednesday, because on Wednesday we have a lot of like PMIs for the Euro, for the Eurozone, for Germany, and we have a lot of USD news and FOMC minutes on Wednesday. So I think Monday and Tuesday can be a little bit sloppy, maybe just consolidate, especially Monday. Then Tuesday is going to make some sort of a manipulation or something. And then it's going to be Wednesday that's make the moves. Then Thursday continuation, although on Thursday we have Thanksgiving in the US. But I have found out that even when there's a public holiday, if there is momentum, the market keeps moving, right? And then Friday looks pretty quiet. So again, we have one day of huge news that can hopefully bring in some sentiment and cause a little bit of a shift in the market. So currently, if you remember, we are inside this very nice weekly demand zone. We have, of course, one right there that the market responded from and failed to continue from it, which means that overall it's kind of shifting bearish, and that is very good because, again, remember, we are a little bit extended, right? Again, I hate the word extended because what is extended? Right? You could have said extended here, you could have said extended there, extended here, extended here, extended there. The market just keeps pushing higher, right? And of course, we know when the market is going to reverse, when we actually see it reverse. So right now we have that bearish pressure, but again, in terms of the weekly time frame, nothing much to extract. We're having a a nice bullish candle. You can even call it a pin bar, a nice rejection. But again, nothing much to extract. It doesn't give me a lot of data. So dropping onto the daily, you can see Thursday and Friday last week, massive sell-off. And then this week, it is just chop, right? Monday bullish, Tuesday kind of wicked down, inside bar. Then this one on Thursday kind of wicked up, but then closed down, and Friday inside bar as well. So we are just consolidating inside this region. And again, I can do right now like a weekly analysis, a daily analysis. And again, on the daily time frame, we spotted that there is a shift right there, or you can even say that there is a shift right there. So the daily has shifted bearish. The 4 hourly is definitely bearish, right? But the weekly is bullish. So which time frame do you listen to? That's when it gets tricky, right? So if I have such a confusion, I immediately go to the 4 hourly time frame. And what do we have this week on the 4 hourly time frame? Well, chop, right? Very, 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 very hard to read. Very hard to read. So we have this pullback, we have a lower low potentially. Then you say, okay, is this my lower high, or is this my lower high right there? So we had a great discussion with my community to potentially try to pick, because if this right there was a break, then we have this demand zone right there. And as you can see, following that demand zone, we have another break, which was formed by another demand zone right there. So as you can see, there is a little bit of a bullish order flow being built up right now from the bottom. And if I just go on the left, liquidity has been taken below these flat lows right there. We also took out this low as well. So if the market is going to reverse from this weekly demand zone, well, it should be doing it right now, right? But again, it's very messy. It's very, very, very tricky. But pretty much this is pretty much my analysis, right? And there is a big debate whether we are actually bullish right now, because again, some of you might take this as a lower high, and this one hasn't been broken, right? But again, we explored a couple of rules. I'm currently working hard on a range rules as well. I'm potentially going to be introducing an indicator for my community as well, so that is going to be great. But again, according to my rules, we took this as a break. Then as you can see, if you took a long from here, good job. Then it breaks again, pull back. If you took a long from here on Friday, again, it worked out great, right? So, but then again, good luck taking a long in this mess right there. So you can see it shifts up, shifts down, shifts up, shifts down. And then it's actually bearish. It shifted up right there, shifted up, and there is your long, but it's overall like very late in the day. So this is the only long that you could have taken as part of the rules, right? And of course, the other days, it's just mad, right? It's just mad. Like you can see here, this is Monday, just up, went down, went up, went down again. Then Tuesday, we had a massive drop. But how do you get in on Tuesday? Just Asian range and just plummet it down, right? Then a massive shift up. No, I'm not even going to go into it. So very tricky. But again, I would love to see if we can have some bullishness on the DXY right now. Again, the hard time frame is always going to prevail. So if this weekly demand zone is about to hold, then we can potentially go bullish. But we need some sort of stimulation from the economic news events. So hopefully maybe euro goes down so the Dixie can go up, or maybe FOMC says something that can push the dollar up. We don't know, but this is how I look at the market right now. I would potentially expect for it to attack the next high because we have this bullish order flow being built up right now. So if you're looking for any trades, right, longs according to me are high probability. So let's see how the other pairs are looking like compared to the Dixie. Euro USD weekly time frame, well, pretty much the opposite to the DXY, right? So the main question right here is, well, it's not a question, but it's actually a fact, is that we have a weekly reversal, right? So whether you take this as a break of the last lower high, or whether you take this as the break of the last weekly lower high, well, they have broken, okay, which indicates that we are shifting bullish on the weekly. But then of course we have the big boy, which is the monthly time frame, right? But yeah, we can see it's definitely a little bit extended down. You can see like since June 2021, we have been in a very nice downtrend, which is like a lot of days. It's more than a year that we have been pushing down. So is it time we push a little bit up? Well, we don't know, right? We don't know, and we cannot forecast this. So don't try to pick the bottom. In terms of the weekly, well, yes, again, it's a bit hard to pick like the bottom if I am to draw a fib range. So are we going to drop it from here? Are we going to drop it from there? It's not going to make a huge difference, right? But there is this kind of weekly demand right there, because you can see there was supply right there. And this is the interaction that I usually like to see. This was supply, the market came in, responded, came in again, responded, and then it broke, right? It flipped to bullish. So this is where it happened. So this is a very strong weekly demand. Again, around 1.0. So yeah, this is pretty much the weekly. And then of course, if I drop to the daily, well, nothing. Good luck analyzing this one. Monday, kind of insights. Tuesday, wicked up. And yeah, pretty much we're trading inside the Tuesday candle. So I have 3 days inside bar. So what is going to happen? I have no idea, right? Because this can be just accumulating for another push up, right? Without actually pulling back down, or it could be distributing for a push down. We just don't know, right? We just don't know. And yes, sure, we can go on the left and maybe find a supply zone like this. Somebody code it. Well, sure, it's actually holding right now. It came very close to breaking it, right? And it looks like it's holding, but I'm not just going to base my analysis on something on the left, right? And then of course, if I draw on the 40 time frame, I'm not even going to look at it because it's tough, right? So similar to what we explored on the 40 time frame, is this the major high low, right? Or is this one? Well, according to me, it is this one. So this is where we actually have our 40 reversal, right? And then you can pick a supply zone, either this, well, it's correct to pick the whole candle, right? This whole candle. So let's pick it like this. It tapped inside, it tried to push, it failed, right? And as you can see, the Dixie actually broke. So if I just go back to the Dixie broke here, and then it broke a second time. But EU hasn't broken a second time, right? So it's still inside. And yeah, it then pretty much pulled back a little bit. Right now it's trying to push down, but it's just ranging. It's just ranging and it's doing nothing. Like since this madness on Tuesday, it has been doing nothing, right? In the 15-minute, it's just up, down, like makes a push up, push down, chop, 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 a little bit down, a little bit up. Friday was mad, but pretty much no opportunities. The only opportunity that I really wanted to take was this one on Tuesday, but it just chopped right there for like 1 hour. It chopped, it didn't provide a setup, then it just manipulated below this, and then it just went without a setup. So it should have been like an aggressive entry if you wish to get in from here. I had a couple of traders that are more like on the swing side. They took some good trades because, like, for example, this week when the 50-minute started to trend right there, it went very nicely trending, but then the 1 minute was an absolute mess. So you could have finished profitable this week if you solely traded the 15-minute. Okay, but currently I have no trades this week, guys, so I don't have anything to break down. What I'm gonna say is I am kind of bearish, right? But I'm very hesitant to say I'm bearish because anything can happen. Okay, so technically right now we are still trading within this range. This is the push. All of this is complex correction. So if you get an opportunity to go short, maybe on an hourly time frame or on a 50-minute time frame, then do so. But personally, I am just waiting. Right, I'm on the sidelines right now. I'm actually working on some more important stuff. I'm happy that the market is choppy because I don't miss out on anything while I take care of my deadlines and stuff, right? So I'm giving it some time, and preferably I would just like to see a confirmed lower low, because remember, a trend is established when you have a first break, hold, lower high, second break. This is an established trend, because what happens, I've said this numerous times, you can have a trend change, but then it continues going in the overall direction. Okay, so I'm personally waiting for this one to break, which can confirm that we're going bearish, and then potentially we can have more like a daily pullback to the downside, and then we can maybe expand to the upside if the fundamentals are going to be supporting this. So again, nothing much for now on EU, and going forward, it's going to be very hard to analyze the other pairs because they're even choppier, right? So let's continue. EUR/JPY on the weekly time frame, well, this one is overall bullish. So again, just to get a little recap, we're having a break of structure right there, right on the weekly time frame. And then of course, weekly demand, do you take it like this, which is very big, or do you maybe take it like this, which is smaller, and then you have another one at the bottom? It doesn't matter as much because we kissed 50%. Okay, which is very important, especially when it comes to the weekly, right? So this one is overall bullish on the weekly, and on the daily, it's what did we have on this one? Well, no, on the daily, oh man, I even forget because I'm not following the JPYs. Well, on the daily, we can say that this is the big push that we're trading into, and all of this is complex, right? So we can even say that the daily is bullish because I cannot see like a reversal, right? There is that huge, those two huge days, right? But this to me is still part of the push. Then it pulled back, but then it failed to take out this high in order to make a hard high. So there is no break of structure down right there. So we're still trading it in this push, pullback, but look at the momentum, right? So look at the bearish push, pullback, right? Massive bearish push and a very corrective pullback. So I don't think a lot of buyers are stepping in right now. Just looking at the daily candles, right? And of course, this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, no moves at all. And if I go on the 40 time frame, oof, good luck. Well, we can come up to a conclusion. This one was a breakout structure to the downside. This one is breakout structure to the upside, trend change. Then what caused this? Well, of course, we can look at this, for example, a nice demand zone. Then you can see we actually, well, there is a little detail here. It actually broke up, right? And then it broke down, right? But then it tapped into this, which is potentially could be like from this very strong weekly demand zone. We have also daily demand zone. It could be potentially, yeah, I'm giving away too much, but if you have like the lowest low right there, or the highest high, or a potential higher low demand zone, this is very strong. So even if you're trading against the trend, this one holds a lot of power. So as you can see, we tapped inside right there, then we shifted up again. So you can see even on the 40 time frame, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? Here we break up. What caused the break? Well, it's this. So the last structural zone, it's this guy, which we kind of penetrated inside on a Friday, late Friday, and it's currently kind of holding, but you can see it's very compressed. So I would even expect for us to run into the lows again, maybe take out even this low, maybe come deep into this wick, maybe even take out the lows right there and then initiate again, then start building structure again. Because to me, this one, what it looks like is is this push and all of this complex to take it down and then to potentially start seeing the real move. Okay, so be careful with longs on Euro Yen, although right now they are kind of valid. So if I'm trading this, I'm going to be dropping on the 50-minute time frame, which is absolutely messy again. And yeah, currently the range is this. So I'm going to be looking for this one to break right there before I jump into any longs. But I'm not going to be jumping into any longs on Monday. I'm waiting for more price action to develop. And again, just looking at this price, it's not something that I would wish to trade, right? It's very choppy, it's very compressed. It doesn't really show me the bullishness, right? We saw it on the daily, massive push, very nice pullback. So I could actually even forecast another dump into the lows. So is this push into the lows gonna break this low, or is it just gonna tap again inside this and give us another shift? We don't know, right? But so far it doesn't have power, so we have to wait for it, right? And this is because of USD Yen. Right, so as we go towards USDN, you're going to see that this pair is also chopping, which is causing all the JPY pairs to chop as well. So again, if you wish to intraday trade this one, it's currently bullish, but I'm suggesting you step aside a little bit, give it some more time, wait for clean markets, and then we strike. Okay, so don't rush, because you can get just up, down, up, down, up, down, and you get confused and you lose your money. Okay, so stay patient. All right, let's have a look at the Aussies. Starting from Aussie dollar, we know that this one is tapping into a very nice supply zone right there on the weekly time frame, and also it is pulling back towards the 50% of the overall weekly range. So this is very good. It's preparing for a really nice short, hopefully, right? Next week we have, I think, a speech from the RBA. We have interest rate for the NZD, not for the Aussie. So of course, but NZD and Aussie are kind of moving together. They're like a pair. But yes, so very nice position currently of the price, and we have taken some sort of liquidity right there. So this is where I wanted to see price come in. It came in, took it out, and we're already kind of rejecting. So what is good about this one? So the daily time frame is very bullish. So the daily time frame currently, you can say that it's either this, that is the higher low, or you can even say that it's either this one right there. So the daily time frame is gonna take a lot of time to shift if we don't have a break and then a breakdown. Okay, which could definitely happen. But this is why I don't do weekly, daily, and 4-hourly, because it's too many time frames, and if you wait for all of them to align, you're not gonna take any trades. All right, so I'm gonna be dropping to the 4-hourly time frame. So yeah, we started right there around Monday, just chop, chop, chop. Tuesday again made the move. We just chop, chop, chop again, and then we broke down. So Aussie is actually the best pair because it caused a reversal. So it broke structure down right there. And as you can see right there, we have these wicks that are potentially a supply zone on the lower time frame. We pulled back and we held. And if you also draw the range from here, it also pulled back to 50%. So this one actually aligned for a very nice short right there. But it happened on Friday, and I'm not sure if it provided the opportunity. But this is my analysis on the Aussie right now. So this is where we are right now. Remember, this is the first break. Right, in order to confirm that we're potentially going down, I need to see a second break happen. So what I would love to see is a breakdown and then potentially lower high, and then to short it probably into this daily demand zone. Okay. What could of course happen is maybe this is not enough to reverse the market. Maybe something happens. Maybe the NZD explodes. This one is going to come in again up. Okay, so currently it is absolutely uncertain. I'm not going to be throwing any scenarios because it's whatever I throw, it just shifts. And every morning I do analysis for my community. Then we try to flow, but it just up, down, up, down. I usually shout like the demand zones, supply zones, which I'm going to be taking a trade off of, but then it just breaks. Then we draw a new one. Then the new one breaks. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down, right? So don't rush too much with it, right? You can see if you go on the 50-minute, good luck shorting this guy right there, right? Just chop, 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 chop. We see down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down. And then it dropped without any confirmation. It just took out the high and then it dropped. So how do you get in? Well, you can get in if you put a stop loss right there and you have a 20 pip stop loss, then you do a 1 to 2, right? But of course, I don't do this. So again, even when the best opportunity was presented, you don't get a trade. So that's the current markets we're trading inside. So this is Aussie. I have nothing more to say on this one. Again, I would love to see a break and then a pullback. But of course, we have a high risk of running into the highs again. Because is this tap enough to make the market reverse? Well, it could be. It could be if we actually show commitment to the downside and break another structure to the downside. So again, give it some time and let's see what's going to happen. But I'm overall kind of going towards bearish Aussie just because it looks really good. Aussie JPY, I'm not gonna do this, guys. I'm not gonna do this because just look at this, right? I'm not zooming out usually, but this is even not zoomed out. Like, what the hell? So if I really zoom in and try to break this down, so we have a breakout structure down right there, breakout structure up. So we have another one right there, then we shift down, then we shift up again, shift up, shift down. Is this valid? Yeah, it's valid. This is the last breakout structure down. This is our last range. And again, similar to the Aussie, it's kind of bearish. We can see we actually wicked above this supply zone, so it's invalidated, and then we responded to the downside. Well, if you want my view, it looks more short bias, this one as well. If I just check out the weekly, well, weekly is too, guys, I've been doing this every week for like, it's been like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, around 5 weeks that I'm just staying confused inside this weekly range. So I'm just even not motivated to have a look at these pairs anymore. Look at the daily, like good luck analyzing the daily. Just wicks down, wicks down, wicks down. And then they're technically still staying within these. Okay, we actually broke below here. Well, daily looks a little bit bearish right now, although if I really jump into details, it's probably still bullish because we're still trading inside this range. And all of this right now is correction to push high. But again, we just don't know, right? So again, if you're trading AJ, just say goodbye to this pair until it starts moving nicely. I'm not going to be going on the 50-minute because intraday, like if you have some sort of a strategy or something, because you can see like Asian massive push, manipulation down, Asia starts push, then it goes down, then again pull back into the Asian range, then it pushes down. There are some intraday opportunities you can take, okay, don't get me wrong, but if you don't have the hard time frames aligned, if you don't have a clean hard time frame bias, you are gonna lose at the end, right? Because the lower time frames do not work without the hard time frames, right? So I leave this pair right there. If you want my view, I'm more bearish than I'm bullish, but of course anything can happen. Okay, so give it some time or just don't trade AJ at all. It could be a huge week for the NZD next week because we have an interest rate decision. We have a lot of news for the NZD and also for the Aussie. So we can definitely have something interesting. This one is pulling back very nicely above 50% on the weekly time frame, and it's coming very close towards this supply right there. Again, drawing supply zones is very subjective. Are you going to take this candle? Or are you going to take the whole range? Are you going to take with this, right? So we can do it in numerous ways, okay? But we have, what is it? 5 weeks, 5 very bullish weeks, right? So the overall flow is very bullish. Dropping onto the daily time frame, this is actually the only pair that actually has clean daily price action. Break up, pull back, hard high, hard low. It's trending nicely up. So hopefully some of you guys took some longs on the NZD. But again, if I just go to this week, this is this week's price action, right? So it gave a little pullback right there. Monday, you could have taken a long maybe somewhere, and then Tuesday actually hits your TP. Then it pulls back. So technically, Yeah, again, debatable. Is this your break of structure right there, or is this your break of structure right there? Right. So I'm not gonna be going into exploring right now because we have a couple of rules for that. But if this is a break, you can see the NZD is always much stronger, and it actually went on and broke structure up, which then makes this our major high low. And how I'm gonna conclude this is that NZUSD is bullish and is potentially traveling towards this big supply zone. Okay. So if you are looking to trade something that is high probability, well, let it be NZUSD, but NZD is gonna have a lot of news this week, so you better watch out for that. Okay, so what I'm looking for right now is to have a deeper pullback. I'm not gonna be logging this one from here. The 50-minute is very nicely bearish right now, so it's in a pullback phase, right? So this is our forward push. Right now, the 50-minute is making minor structure pullback. When the minor aligns with the major, that is when we get the high probability trade. Okay, and this is what I'm going to be looking for, right? So this is my setup, long trade on NZUSD. Let's see if it's going to play out. But first, I need to see it below 50% and tapping inside this zone right there. So going on to NJ, yeah, let's start with the weekly once again. Well, weekly is bearish, right? Because we shifted down there. We're tapping into supply right now, and there was that week that rejected from the supply, but right now we're pulling back, so it looks a little bit bearish. Daily time frame is also bearish because we had this break up, we have this breakdown on the daily, so weekly is bearish and daily is bearish, right? So again, the hard time frame bias is telling us shorts, and maybe if NZUSD actually goes towards that weekly supply zone and shorts, then this one can also have a very nice short as well. So currently, like, the last break is here, and yes, it's actually bullish. So it's bullish. If you want to take a big range like this, do so. If you want to take it like this, do so. I'm going to take a big one because this one is way too small. Okay, so then I'm going to be dropping a range like this. So currently we have a nice correlation between NZUSD and NJ. They are both bullish, but NZJPY gives us a sign that the weekly and daily are bearish. So again, the higher time frame can eventually go down. Okay, but if you're looking to take an intraday trade, then to me it's longs right now, but the 50-minute is bearish, so you cannot take a long, right? So wait, again, same setup. If we pull back right there, if the 50-minute aligns with the forward time frame, then we can go long, right? Target the high. This high is going to be first target. Maybe we're going to come in again and take out these highs as well. Who knows? Anything can happen. But overall, I think the interest rates are going to determine the overall direction this week on the NZD. So stay tuned for that. Check out your economic calendars and don't trade during the interest rate and even the day before that. Because if they're very huge, if you have like a lot of wicks or a lot of a big move, then you're usually not going to get a clean trade. Okay, so watch out for that. But overall, bullish bias. Let's look at USDN, which is also not moving greatly this week. But again, in terms of the weekly time frame, once again, we are bullish. We are below the 50%. And it depends on how you draw your demand zone. So again, you can take it like this, which is going to give you a big zone. But again, the market can come in very deeply as well and then reverse. This is why you have to find the balance between having not too big but also not too small, because I know people that are gonna take this wick and this wick is probably never gonna get tapped, right? Well, it could tap, but then you're way too refined, right? So I'm gonna take something like this, which is an overall average. So of course we have a little bit more downside potentially, right? But we're below 50%, and I know with the JPYs they don't tend to pull back very deeply. In terms of the daily, well, we chop right there. We had a massive run high and then we massively dropped lower again Thursday and Friday last week. And right now this week, nothing, right? We're just pulling back a little bit. So it is very hard for me to forecast right now what is going to happen. The current momentum is really bearish. So I do think we are going to be continuing down for a bit, right? If you have a look at the 40 time frame, we broke structure down right there. And depends whether you take this or this, right? So to me, I always take the most recent one, so it's gonna be that one. So we have a little bit, so similar to what we have on some of the JPY pairs, right? We have that little bit of a shift. Also the Dixie has that little bit of a shift, right? It came back, responded, and right now it's in a little bit of a push phase to potentially break above this high. But again, I think long term, this one needs a little bit more push down. I don't think it's just gonna stop from here. Like it could be, but I don't see it very logical. But again, the market is not logical. It can do whatever it wants. But yeah, so this is how I look at UJ right now. So this is going to be my major higher low. This is my major higher low, right? So as long as we are above this one, well, we are technically bullish on the 40 time frame. I see this, for example, which is a very nice base, right? This is a very nice base supply on the left, which hasn't been tapped. So maybe we take another push up, then we shift down, and then we go bearish, right? But again, this depends on fundamentals. I do think we have also some JPY news this week. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to go check out my calendar, but we have, I saw some GDP. We have oh no, this is this week. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so we had GDP this week, actually November 15th, but we did not. Oh yeah, this is why this moved down, because of the GDP right there. Okay. So check out the economic calendar. This is how I currently look at it. I'm long-term bearish just because like it's very bearish right now. The momentum is very bearish, and usually in order for it to reverse, it's gonna need something more. So I don't think this little accumulation right there is enough, but of course it could be, right? So again, flow with the market. It's currently bullish. Let's see how it goes. Keep following the major structure and stay tuned for my Tuesday analysis, where we hopefully have a little bit more information on where we could potentially go. Let's have a look at USD CAD. So once again, on the weekly time frame, we are bullish, and potentially we are approaching this little demand zone right there on the weekly. A very nice recent bearish structure right there. And again, if we try to even measure the momentum, well, it took like it took 4 bars to go up, and so far it took like again 4 bars to go down again. So kind of the momentum is the same, but we can see that the bullish push was much stronger. And right now, yes, we are in a nice pullback. So again, long term, we can say that UCAD is overall bullish. In terms of the daily time frame, currently it is bearish. So again, if we take out the weekly major leg like this, the daily right now is in a correction. So when the daily aligns, then the weekly is gonna prevail, hopefully. But yes, currently you can see on the daily, we have this very recent supply zone. And similar to like UJ, like I don't think it's gonna reverse from here. Like it's very flat and it's in an overall pullback after this massive drop. So I do think we have like one more drop on UJ, one more drop on UCAD, maybe even one more drop on the Dixie down. Okay, so again, let's see. So dropping onto the 40 time frame, let's see. So we have a break of structure down right there. Then this one did not break. Yeah, see what happens? So we break down, then the market wicks up, then it fails to break down, and then where is the major structure, right? But then let's say we broke up right there, we pull back, good. Is this pullback 50% at least? Yep, very good. And right now we are breaking up again. So currently the structure on the 40 time frame is bullish, but we can say that this is the correction of that last daily leg, right? So this is the correction to eventually push us down. So I would expect another move lower on UCAD, right? I would expect that. Currently, again, a bit hard to pick a demand. Again, don't pick it too small. Don't do this, right? But don't do that as well, right? So pick an average, something like this. We can, of course, draw our range. So what I'm going to be looking for is hopefully for a pullback, alignment, and then potentially taking it into this big supply, okay? What could happen is we can, of course, push immediately straight up. And then, of course, we have to wait to see what's going to happen from there. But this is how I look at it right now. It doesn't look that bad on the 40 time frame, that recent bullish momentum. So let's hope we actually get it. One more push into the highs, because currently we have like one push, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would expect the market to come in once more into the highs. So let's see. If you're looking to trade UCAD, then I'm long bias. But of course, first of all, we need the setup. We need a little bit of a pullback on the 4H, 15-minute alignment, and then we go with it. Next on the list are the GBPs, and once again I find those pairs also very confusing, especially GU, because GU had this major like tap of all-time lows, and since then it has been correcting, and it's still like technically bearish, and it's just tapping inside this very big weekly range. Once again, how do you draw it? Like this, like that? I don't know. I usually like to take it much bigger, but also not make it as big, right? So dropping onto the daily time frame, well, currently it is bullish, right? So we can see that from the bottom right there, the last clean pullback was here. So technically we shifted bullish right there. And yeah, technically we just shifted bullish, and then Monday, Tuesday, and we just started ranging right there. So we just threw a little bit of a wick inside this zone, but I don't think this wick is going to be enough, right, in order to reverse that current bullish market. We have that little base candle on the daily that is potentially going to turn into our 4-hourly demand, and yes, that is the case. Currently, the last break of structure is this, on the 40 time frame, then of course we can just refine a little bit. The market pushed, it retested, it tried to push up, it failed, then it came back to grab this as liquidity. Immediately after it grabbed, it had a massive reaction. So technically, currently on GU, this is the push. All of this is internal. Then we can expect potentially the market to take out the high. So this is what I will be looking for. Again, when it comes to a setup, then you would like for the 50-minute to turn bullish. But yeah, good luck trading this. And even here, again, I know like GU traders, they tend to wait for liquidity gaps and then just take, for example, here, manipulation. But then how do you get in from there? Like, how do you know it's going to stop here? Because yeah, you're going to see traders shouting this, right? You're going to see traders showing you this. But then again, how do you know that they responded from there? Then they're going to say, okay, it's this one. I personally don't believe in this stuff. I believe in following the trend. I believe in following the flow. But of course, we know that stop hunts and stuff exist. But of course, before you take this short right there and catch the win, you're going to take a loss right there. 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 And then maybe you take it, right? And you bring out all of your losses back. But this is not the way I would like to trade. So currently, bullish structure, I would expect the market to take out this high because I don't think just this tap is gonna cause anything to the downside. So I would say I'm overall bullish on GU. So again, we need an opportunity for this one. 50-minute currently is an absolute mess. So hopefully we pull back a little bit down to take out some sort of liquidity, and then as it starts trending up, then I would like to follow it up. Okay. This low failed to take out this high, so it could also be liquidity. So maybe we even take out this low, and then from there, if we align, then I'm going to be looking for longs again. So once again, I'm buy bias on GU, but it needs some sort of a setup, which we do not have right now. GJ is going to give me a hard time again, but in terms of the weekly, it is bullish, push, pullback, daily, bearish. The last daily break is here, but we also have like some sort of a weekly demand zone right there, which is going to be looking something like this. But once again, I don't want such a big zone, so usually I'm going to take something like that. And again, currently you can see the daily push and a very nice corrective pullback. So again, is it weekly bullish? Is it daily bearish? And then is it 4-hourly chop, right? So you can see it's all over the place. And like this is across all currency pairs, right? So this is where we reversed, break up. And yeah, so currently this is the last hour low. This is the last hour low. This is your last range. So similar to GU and similar to some of the others, JPYs, it is currently bullish in terms of the 40 time frame. It's bullish on the weekly, but it's bearish on the daily. So again, which one do you listen to? Well, this is why we need systematic rules. This is why I don't utilize daily, weekly, and monthly in my personal trading that I do intra-week and intraday, right? I do the weekly outlook because I need to see where the market is in terms of the macro perspective, but you don't need to analyze the macro every single day, right? So I know at the back of my mind that the weekly is bullish. I know that the daily is bearish, so there is a high chance we push lower. And I know currently that the 4-hourly is bullish, so I'm going to keep following the 4-hourly flow until I'm wrong. Okay, so we already dipped below 50%. And if the 50-minute is aligning bullish, well, which it is, yes. It aligned here, but then it pulled back and then it's breaking up here again. So I would need to see something more. I'm not just gonna long from here, right? Which is just right now. So give it some time, let it manipulate a little bit, maybe even let it push down right there and then give you a setup. That would be very high probability. So again, GU and GJ are currently bullish. I'm bullish bias on the 4-hourly time frame, but again, daily and weekly can show us something else. But I would expect a little bit of a long early this week, so let's see if we can catch it. Not much of an update on GOAT, right? So we have spotted at this level right there held very nicely, and we didn't actually break below the low. In terms of the weekly though, the weekly is bearish, so this is where we get the confusion again, because 4-hourly and daily is bullish, but weekly is bearish and is just pulling back towards the last lower high, right? So we came inside and currently you can see it's massively bullish on the daily and it's currently responding from that weekly supply. Okay, so what is going to happen? We don't know. In terms of the daily, we're bullish. 4-hourly time frame, you can see I had this zone right there. We tapped inside on Monday, we pushed up and then we started to chop around. Yeah, so we had a break of structure here, and then technically to me, this is going to be a break of structure down. This is not a valid range, but it's a valid supply. So this is the short that we could have taken right there. And then there is the last break of structure down. So currently the volatility time frame is down, right? It's down. So if you wish to trade a daily correction, right, into, let's say, this zone right there, then I would say, well, sure, go short on gold. Like the last, for example, supply, we can take it as this. If the market pulls back 50%, it's not even supposed to pull back, rather if it pulls back 50% and then it starts aligning down, then I will be looking to short. So I'm currently kind of short biased on gold, but again, we don't know we don't know the length of the pullback that is going to create, because it's very bullish on the daily, it's very bullish, no, it's not bullish on the volatility, sorry. Weekly is also bearish. So again, which one is going to prevail? This is the biggest question. And I hate this when it happens. And this is when I was losing a lot in the past, because again, weekly is bullish, then daily is bearish, then volatility is this, then 50 minutes this. So what do I do? And I get lost, right? Again, guys, I keep mentioning this, have systematic rules, right? You don't need all time frames. You need 2 time frames. 2 time frames for analysis, 1 time frame for entry, right? So again, volatility right now is bearish. I'm going to be looking for a pullback. Then if the 50-minute aligns for me, right? So let's say we have a nice pullback right there, then the market taps, 50-minute aligns, then I'm going to be looking for a short, right? To potentially pull us back a little bit deeper into the daily. And then of course, if the fundamentals allow it, we can rocket into the highs. But of course, who knows? So gold traders, let me know what you're looking at. I'm currently looking for shorts. Let's see if they're going to play out, but I'm always open to your view as well. Well, it's been a choppy week across the indices as well. So as you can see, US 30 has a very nice doji candle right there. So nothing much happened on this index. And of course, if you go on the daily, we're going to see a couple of chop days right there. And if you go to the volatility time frame, we're going to see a couple of choppy volatility time frame price action as well. Well, there was a... Wait a second. 10th of November. Oh yeah, sorry, this is last week, right? So I think that this was this week, but no, this week we purely have right here. There is Sunday, there is Monday, and yeah, a complete chop, right? So once again, there were some opportunities you could take, because here we broke up, there we broke down right there. So there is the pullback. You can take shorts from here, but then the market breaks down and then immediately breaks back up. So currently you can see kind of the most recent structure is bullish, and there is that little demand zone right there. But personally, I am not trading from here, because we are sitting in a very major weekly supply and we just don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, so this is US 30. If you're looking for intraday trades, it offers intraday trades, right? It definitely offers them. So here you can see you could have taken a long, but although for me, I see that there is no long setup right now because it's close to break the high and it just shifted the 50 minutes. So again, I am giving those some time. I was really interested in US 30 to trade it, and I'm currently practicing it. You can see very clean price action right there. But precisely right now, the timing and the positioning of price is not great. I have good news though. Nasdaq is starting to it tapped inside the zone that we forecasted. So this was my forecast to take out this level. We took it out and we're currently responding. Okay, but again, I don't think this one is going to be enough in order to reverse the market. Again, we know long term I am bearish on the indices. I do think we still have more downside, right? But yes, currently again we broke structure up and it actually shifted structure down. Okay, this is my supply on the volatility time frame, and this is also going to be my range, right? So if I trade in trade, this is my range. You can see it pull back, it tried to push, it failed, it pulled back again, and then right now it dropped. Okay, this is internal alignment right there. So if you wish to intraday trade, you can even trade from here or you can trade from here. Okay, but again, is this enough? Is this tap enough in order to revert? I don't think so. Look at the massive bullishness right there. So this can just be a reaction. Take out, come in, take out more liquidity, and then potentially start seeing the reversal. Okay, so give it some time and don't rush to short, right? Don't rush to short. It takes time. And I personally think that this is not enough. Okay, we can maybe have one more short to the downside to pull us back a bit deeper, but eventually we can come in towards this level, take the liquidity, and then to potentially reverse lower. Okay. S&P as well kind of came in a little bit deeper, tapping inside the zone. It's above 50%. It looks very good. On the volatility time frame, it also has this one looks like a whack off or something, like 1, 2, 3 drives, like the last drive being the biggest one. Then it went on and shifted structure right here, pullback, short. Right there is a short. Another break of structure down. This is the supply, which actually got tagged, right? And we're currently responding a little bit. So it's showing us some bearish signs, but again, is this really gonna be the reversal? Well, it could be. it could be, right? It's pulling back towards the zone. It's taking structural liquidity. It's accumulated a little bit with this Sivkov pattern. I hope it's Sivkov. I have no idea, but it looks like it. And it looks like we have that little bit of a bearish sentiment right now. Fear and greed index, we're closing at 62 greed, right? 1 week ago we were 65, so we can see that we haven't had much of a development, right? And again, going back to 1 year ago where we were in greed again, and precisely then we started flushing as well, November and December. Look at here. So we're just crossing above the 125 MA. So again, I'm not sure why they use 125, but it looks good. I would use slightly bit higher, right? But again, you see anytime we crossed above it, we tend to reverse, right? So right now we're crossing above it, we're chopping above it. So if we return back, then this can expose more downside, right? So let's see extreme greed. You can see we're coming back at extreme greed right now. We were at extreme fear and we're coming back to extreme greed, which is again, as I keep telling you, this is how the market moves, right? It's just, how do you call it? Yeah, I forgot the word, but it moves like this, right? Up, down, from greed to fear, right? So that's it. I'm not going to be covering crypto. It's just madness what is happening in the crypto industry right now. I'm not going to be even commenting. Have any of you guys been a victim of the FTX bankruptcy and then the thing? Because I think that one is much bigger than mine, right? Celsius, they had like millions, but the FTX is about like 9 billion, which is insane. So crypto, I'm not looking at it right now. Focusing on the stocks. I haven't bought any stocks recently because once again, it's not a great positioning. I'm looking at a few right now that I can buy. I can mention this on my newsletter as well. So yes, well, I want to end it up right here. Again, not the best analysis. We don't have clean markets right now. It's been an absolutely choppy week. This one, it has been absolutely 3 choppy weeks that I haven't taken any great trades. I'm currently break even as well, so it's not great, but you know myself, I'm very conservative. I'm very risk averse trader, so I don't take a lot of risk. I don't trade a lot as well in terms of quantity of trades, right? So I'm staying really patient, and I just hope that this week is gonna provide some good setups as well, so we can finish strong. We can finish November strong. December is already around the corner. Christmas is here. New Year is here, so we're coming to an end of 2022. So hopefully you are on track with your goals and crushing them. Okay, so guys, have an amazing weekend. Have a crushing week ahead of you. Stay tuned for my newsletter on Sunday. Stay tuned for my analysis on Tuesday, and let's kill it.